I have another game for you today. I was playing this yesterday around what time was it? It wasn't 6 o'clock. It was more like 11 a.m. This is in UTC. Um yeah, this one was really, really wild. I was playing Ashiok, so of course I had to develop every single general because what else do you do when you're playing Ashiok? So that happened. We went many moves. I moved my drunk elephant off its starting square for the first time in my life. And I maneuvered my pieces with the sole goal of developing every single general with good shape. I didn't wholly succeed, but we'll get to that later. Then I played this move, and Ashiok asked me his first question. This is during the post-game analysis, because we did do a detailed post-game analysis the next day, that is today morning. And Ashiok asked me why I played this move, because technically, if your goal is to develop generals forward, it's a loss of tempo to move a general on the same rank sideways. And Ashiok has talked about this before. So you have to have a reason. It might be to castle, but then Ashiok says that you should castle late, and I agree with this, because that then only will you be able to know what side your opponent is attacking from. So that reason is not valid. The only reason I actually played this was to develop my silver this way. And then I realized, like a few moves later, that first I blocked that path completely after I realized what I realized, which was that I would need more than 2 silvers to attack on the left side, and my goal was to attack on the left side. The second he played this, I felt that it would be easier for me to attack now that his pieces are moved forward somewhat, because, well, I had targets, and exchanges might come more easily. I don't know how sound that logic is, but that's what I was thinking, so I decided I would myself push on this side and block away his pieces and prevent them from expanding very far. So these tempi to move forward on the left side would be wasted. I had some thinking along those lines. So I played this, creating a path for my silver. And then this became a problem. This is less than ideal shape. I should not have done that. Instead, it's best, I think, to play this, sort out the third rank, and then move like this, maybe? Because I actually had so many problems in the middle game because my bishop was blocking this rook from assisting the right side. Okay, silver comes forward, and I committed my line. After, well, I saw that if he got this square, he would have an attacking advantage on this side. I wouldn't be able to really push forward much. So I started advancing, and at this stage, it's most likely that our attacks will come like this, but it's not certain yet. However, and I can't play this square. This is a very sensitive square because there's this pawn push that was a problem for quite a while, where the lion would be in trouble or trapped. So this square can't really be occupied. But after this move, the line is cut off from this side of the board. There's a literal barrier here. So the board is officially split, and Sente will look to attack this way. Now the question is whose attack is faster, because attack leads to material gains. And quoting Ashiok, not to like he said something like this. Um, you can use material gains in attack to make up for those lost in defense by maybe bringing attacking pieces back. So yeah, the speed of attack here is very important. Shushogi is a slow game, but still, you can't waste time, and every move has to be toward the goal of attacking, even if an attack will be very slow. Every tempo counts. So this, I think, is a very nice shape, because the blind tigers together defend each other's weak points, and basically cover this whole box here. So this is I think good shape, and it alleviates some of the problems you have when you use a blind tiger as forward, because they can be very, very frustrating pieces. And we both agreed that this was a mistake. This gold never ended up being very useful, and it was needed to attack on the left, because as you can see, Senta is using a gold to defend on the left, and to attack you need at least an equal number of pieces or more. Of course, I have a lion's advantage on this side, but still, breaking through is something that you need steppers for, and a lion can't do that. Egoing pawns is not going to help. Well, it will somewhat, but not very much. Not enough to actually break through. So this gold move was a mistake. And something very important about defending against an attack is not exchanging pawns unless you need to. So here, if you take, you're just letting Gote's forces advance with tempo. I was going to play this to keep my general shape the way I liked it. Um, I wanted the silver to come up like this. I wasn't actually sure what I wanted to do. I remember some calculation where this push became a thing. I was calculating some line. I can't remember what that was now. But oh, I forgot to mention that. Way back, Ashiok played this. This is a really, really good bishop. I haven't seen anyone but him play bishop to the edge, and I think it's a really good idea. Um, when you're faced with a flank attack. Of course, it's not amazingly useful in the center, but here, one of the ideas that I might have would be to push this go-between and slide the lion over to bring it closer to the edge. But in that case, the lion's um under fire, and that's just not a stable position for the lion. And if the lion is on the same diagonal as the bishop with only one piece in between, then you can't push forward like this without problems with discoveries. You can't If you can't push forward safely, then it doesn't help that the lion is one file closer. So this bishop is very good. Oh, okay. There's some lines here. Let's look at these. Oh, right, that's already what we looked at. Okay. Okay. This is the very important part. I'll also point out that we both have way too much time on the clock. Um, I'm not going to criticize Ashiok for blitzing out everything, because he's such a strong player that he would destroy me even if he was, like, playing as if it was bullet. But I was definitely not using enough time for the significant rating difference between myself and my opponent. So this is a position in which I only spent 2 minutes, when I really should have spent like half an hour. This is the position where I really have to calculate some concrete lines and come up with a plan. And because I spent too little time, I came up with the wrong idea, and I took the pawn. There are really three options here that were I had them marked out, but I deleted the arrows. These are our three options. This is the worst. It's really not very good. This is the best option, but I didn't understand the reason. I thought, okay, the lion's not, you're not creating a space for the lion. if you push the pawn, it doesn't do that much. But I didn't realize that you can just do this, and this is a whole idea. And also, I've talked before about how go-betweens are sort of a barrier dividing the board into parts. So by pushing the go-between, you allow generals from the center to maneuver to the left side and participate in the attack. So this is the move that Ashiok preferred. And we also have some lines here from the post-game analysis. The edge attack. This is the second best option. In fact, it's probably equal to pushing the go-between. It's a little quicker and requires some concrete analysis. The go-between move doesn't need to be responded to. It's just a strategic thing. So now you're targeting this square. This line isn't so good. So let's see what we have here. After the edge pawn push, counterattacking on the right side. Takes, and then I can take this pawn. Now I have a clear path forward, including attacking this square. This square is controlled also, so I'm going to force an exchange that is favorable for me, even if the difference between these two generals is minimal. And I will be able to push this pawn, and the exchange can't be defended from this square anymore because of this pawn, which is a very nice vanguard pawn. So that line isn't very good. This is I think the most important one that we looked at, where 2G is defended. Sorry, I'm lagging a bit. Let's wait for that to subside. Oh dear. Okay, pawn takes 2G. It's back. We showed his back. Then you advance with the copper, and this is a position. I've advanced 1 rank, but I haven't made a crazy amount of progress. Here, it seems sensible to go for edge attack, and the position's opened up a bit. This is actually hanging. Oh my goodness. Wait, actually, how do you defend? Ashiok gave this line. Basically what we did is I played a move and he responded as if we were playing a game just to see how that line goes in general. But I never considered this, and I'm actually not sure how you would even respond. You just have to remove the bishop from the edge. Oh, I wish I'd seen that. But then the side mover is still hanging. No, it's not. It's not. The side mover is not hanging. But you can take this. And then we exchange pieces. And now there's an open first file to work with. That's a very interesting variation. I'll have to ask him about that one. Okay, that makes me think about the edge attack rather differently. Yeah, I actually really like that. Interesting. I'm surprised I didn't notice it. So the game continued. Leopard recaptures. I advanced the leopard instead of the copper. I have no idea why. I wasn't putting enough thought into my moves at all. As you can see, I'm gaining time, which is just crazy. Oh, wow. Huh. Yeah, time usage has always been a problem for me. And I still had this option to develop the copper, and I didn't. I pushed the pawn, and the pawn isn't useful at all. And you're not even going to be able to get rid of it. You have to do something like, I don't know. Maybe open the third file? Like, there are options here that I didn't consider at all, like opening the third file, opening the edge file. And I'm only now seeing them. Interesting. Upper 4F. Okay, he gives a line here. Oh, we must have been doing that pretty quickly because... Oh, no, there's a VM there. Okay. I suppose here you'd play this, maybe? I don't know. So, my attack I didn't carry out correctly, and Ashiok, I just exchanged some pieces. Nothing particularly useful, and Ashiok got the chance to attack. Of course, I don't want to capture any of these pawns to bring any of his generals one rank further, rather. So I just left it, and he broke the tension. And here I really messed up. I took this, and lost a general. And this is a very, very difficult attack to deal with, and I'm in extremely bad shape, and I'm probably losing. Something Ashiok said here that I think is very much correct is that when defending, it's bad shape to have generals on the same rank that can't defend each other. I never thought of that, but as you can see, this is just a normal opening setup. I would never consider that I have to change this if I want to defend effectively. So maybe what you want to do is, well, you definitely want to have an open third rank, which is not what I have. But maybe before, instead of using all the tempi, all your moves to attack, it is also a good use of turns to slow the opponent's attack. And maybe gaining one more rank here with pawns would have made my shape better. And also, I can't really involve this silver until he chooses to exchange go-betweens, then maybe I could do something. But I'm considering that. And probably rook back, bringing in the gold is also pretty sound. But clearing the third rank is something that's important that I delayed way too long. I don't think I ever even fully cleared my third rank. Going back, I basically lose, and I have to bring my lion back to defend. If there was a piece on this very good diagonal, for example, if the horse was here, just one extra move, then I lose. I completely lose. I'm fairly certain of that. I looked at a few lines where the lion takes one more move to get to the square it did get to. And in that case, Sente has way too many really good options. So if Ashiok had waited one move to play this, I would probably not have realized the intent of it, and I would have gotten into some serious trouble. Responding with gold up to bring the lion back wouldn't change much, though. So if I realized that he was trying to prevent my lion from going to the right side, I would have been able to fix that easily. So instead of taking here, what I should have done is just exchanging off everything as best as I can and minimizing my losses. I can maybe bring in the lion now. And the worst that can happen here is that I lose a pawn or two, maybe, and we create a lot of open space, and then I just have to try my best to promote and, well, try my best to prevent Sente's promotion and use the open space for my own attack. Then I would have to, like, abandon all of this, because I wouldn't, if this area is completely open, I wouldn't be able to block it up again. So I would have to focus more on the right side, and then all these pieces go to waste. at least temporarily. So I lost a general and did this. This looks really strong. Just preventing the lion from getting in as easily as it did, it only took me like 3 moves, could have made my position a lot worse. And also, then my silver wouldn't have been able to advance and clear out a little bit. Even still, opening up the position still favors Ashiok because of my bad third rank and the dragons that are just completely blocked off. I would have to move so many pieces. But he could have gotten me into a lot more trouble by moving the lion closer. This silver ends up being quite useful. So now, well, if I take, well, I can't do that. I have to move the queen. I thought that it would be better to take because a bishop is less damaging here, but I just moved the rook back. As Ashiok said, it is a loss of tempo, in theory, to exchange any piece. So I just decided that I wanted to keep this diagonal here and keep the queen covering this square and maybe put a horse here. And okay, now I have to play this to prevent the exchange of lions because the silver is a high ranked enough piece to allow a lion exchange. Oh dear. um Bit further back. Well, you can see what happened now. That's very far back. Okay, we're back. So to prevent a line exchange, the silver goes to the wrong side of the board where it shouldn't be, and I bring the line here. Now I'm under a lot less threat and pressure than you'd expect, even with all of these pieces bearing down on my position. And I kind of survived. I brought a rook in. This move is very tricky. Hitting the hanging side mover. And basically I wanted to exchange golds, move my line out of the way, exchange ranging pieces, and clear up everything. So I tried to exchange golds. I didn't actually exchange gold. I did eventually. And then instead of recapturing like this, Ashiok decides that he is going to switch his focus to the center and leave the right side. Because I have to take more tempi to bring my lion back to the center and back to the area of action. So he retreats from the right side completely. I finally get a reasonably clear third rank. And then I play this. I see this dangerous skewer and I'm like, oh no, I'm not allowing that. So I play this. It's still possible, so I had to take this move back. Absolutely hilarious. So I took that back and played, not that, this instead. And then escaped with my king. But my king isn't really escaping because I'm just moving it even closer to the attack. Because because I've attacked in this area and then abandoned it, it's a bit overextended and weak. So now these defending pieces are going to destroy me. Then I played this, which is so bad. Um, there's this line where since it advances, I can attack the horse with the phoenix and force this exchange. but this position, the resulting position, isn't very good for me. But the problem with this is that after a few moves, I lose this pawn. Ashiok didn't take it immediately. I don't know why. And then this shape is such that the square is completely undefended. And now I have to deal with the threat of promotion. And suddenly, this whole shape is destroyed and really weak. I completely didn't realize that that was even possible. I was just way too focused on the right side now that I'd cleared it up, and some really slow plans to bring my lion back. All this really silly stuff. Meanwhile, my left is under fire. So we exchange pieces. The phoenix gets kicked out, and I'm dealing with discoveries. My lion is in bad shape. And then Ashiok hangs a gold general. And it's not quite hanging a gold general because you can recapture the silver general, but then I saw this, and basically the phoenix is threatening to promote onto I. So if you take the bishop, and now there are two attackers on this square, and you can obviously only have one defender because that's just logical. So at least one piece is going to promote. I would play this with a skewer, and well, if you take, avoiding, well, if you take, I get a queen, and you're totally lost. So at least it's such a significant material loss that I'd have very good chances. So obviously he didn't take. He played this, and it's very tricky. I retreated the bishop because, okay, this is the line I saw. If I take the VM and we exchange bishop for VM, which is something I'm fine with, I recapture, and then there's this, and I lose my queen. That's what I saw. What I didn't realize is that you can just recapture with the dragon, then this is defended. And bishop for VM is an alright trade. And this square is still weak, and it's being eyed by two pieces, so if I play this, bad things will happen. We didn't go into this very deeply. I'm not sure what he would have played because it's I guess this. Yeah, that makes sense. But then you're still dealing with forced promotion. So actually, maybe this is bad. Maybe you actually cannot take the bishop because the promotion threat is very strong. Oh, I see what you do. Okay, so you got to immediately go here and equally defend. That's the only option. Then everything is kind of covered. There's no immediate follow-up. The lion can't come to here because of the bishop. Yeah, that makes sense. So I just, yeah, we traded VMs. My bishop got put in a corner, and Sente takes this file. So the only real way to defend the bishop is to move the king, defending it with the queen. And then my phoenix is trapped. Surprise. So I lose even more material, but I get the Toki now, and that was pretty important. This Token was going to cause a lot of problems because if it's on this square, it's got all of this covered, and you can win the side mover, and once the side mover's gone, the promotion zone is weaker. So the Token could have done a lot of damage. So I'm glad I captured it at the cost of a phoenix, which was kind of close to promotion. So very bad exchange still. This position's playable. It's not resignable yet. There's still a lot of pieces on the board. Then I played this, which is so bad. Well, first of all, I couldn't really avoid the skewer, and losing an exchange when I've lost much more material already is fine, I guess, maybe. But playing this dragon move in response to the skewer is so bad. Well, obviously what I was thinking is, oh, I'll double up dragons on this file, amazing. But here you just take, and then I recaptured the side mover so that I wouldn't have to move my lion away from the center. But still, it's not a good move. And then I'm dealing with all of these threats, and I find the only move that defends. It's not very hard to find, but I marked it with a little exclamation mark because it is the only move. If you play literally anything else, you're done for. And this move comes with a pretty strong threat. I have this little battery, and this square is only defended by the dragon. And I saw that on this move, but there's just a slight problem that this is with check, and I'm losing. So I defended the tiger, and this to Ashiok just seemed like a normal move, defending the tiger. He didn't I mean like keeping better shape. The tiger was already defended, but keeping the tigers together is just an improvement. He didn't notice this. He didn't think I'm defending the tiger so that the horse is free, and I was able to promote. This was really where the end game became a lot more equal because I'm gaining a little bit of material, and now this side mover is going to be weak, and I may win that as well. This battery is suddenly quite powerful, and I'm going to get a horse as well, which will additionally restrict Sente's movement. So I don't know how good this was. Instead, maybe just this force an exchange of horses. Keep the battery, keep the lion where it is. This seems more playable. And there's this where I win the side mover for free, and you're losing an exchange. This is bishop for horse. So I'm not sure. Maybe this is fine. But then the central horse is so good. Now there are two weaknesses. There's the side mover and what's this? What is this called in shogi? The rook's shoulder or something? So Ashiok starts advancing on this side. Things to notice about this advance. There's a drunk elephant here, and it promotes to a second king, the crown prince. And there's a kirin and an open promotion zone. Those two combined never end well. So the second he played this, I went into panic mode because I didn't notice the kirin was there, and I was like, oh my god, if there's forced promotion, I'm so dead. Um, but it's actually kind of survivable. He promoted to a bishop, but if you play unpromote to here, you can, um, even if you play unpromote to here, which looks stronger, it's still possible to defend against kirin promotion. And actually, I have threats that are more urgent than that require Sentei's attention. So you can't put all your efforts into promoting the kirin. If I didn't have anything on the left side, then this kirin supported could promote pretty easily. There are only a few defenders over here. I'd have to put a lot more pieces into defending against this one threat. And if I had to do that at that point, I'd be losing. So I go crazy for speed, developing my lion to try to take this rook and allowing a token into my camp. And then I have to move the blind tiger. I'm not that crazy, but still I'm allowing a discovered check and that wins the side mover, which is really idiotic looking because the side mover was defending my promotion zone. But I had calculated this very carefully, and I came to the conclusion that I could get a very strong attack with the lion, and that this rank was the least of my concerns. Additionally, I have a rook here. So Ashiok promotes. I take the side mover. He takes this bishop. I recapture with the queen. The queen gets attacked, and I sacrifice it, but for the lion. And this, I think it's a blunder. I'm actually going to mark it as such. Because Ashiok maybe didn't realize how critical the lion was in defending against checkmate. So once I had the lion, immediately threatening checkmate in one. I was feeling really good here. Then, I found one of the only ways to lose immediately. I know. Yeah. I played an unnecessarily fancy move that looks cool, but loses. I played Dragon the 2K promote. And the idea is kind of obvious if you think about it. If you take mate in one, except Ashiok played Rook to 3B promote, King 5A, Horse promotes to 4A, King runs, and this is mate. And that's how the game ended. Obviously, I was really sad about that, but actually, this position is very, very interesting. This is the reason I didn't just put the game in a study to look at later and move on. Even though I lost the game, and I was pretty disappointed that I lost the game, this position is shockingly interesting if you look at it carefully. First of all, dragon promotion can be a threat. This horse is still powerful, and it sort of cuts off the king. The lion is right here. It's shocking that this whole rank is defended. So, what are my options? The first thing I saw immediately after the game when I was like, I should have been winning. What else? What could I have done? That was this move. Just attacking the queen. Anything that attacks the queen is fine. Then there's this. And this. And this is a very uncomfortable position. Instead, I can take the horse. It's a completely free horse. But then Ashiok just pointed this out, pinning the line to the king. Then Dax, only like 40 minutes ago, showed this move. And then Alex Trick pointed out that there's queen 6-1. And after this exchange, still a pin, but you have to take the queen. This should be a winning endgame for Sente, and easily winning. I have far fewer pieces, and the king promotion is an imminent threat. So, I can't actually take the horse. So what actually can I do? The move we decided on is just eliminating that simple mate threat by taking the small bishop. And then we have a thing here. Attacking this move I don't think is sound. It attacks the rook. It like wins the rook, right? But it also removes defense of this square. But we'll go through that because I have no idea what else Sente would play. It's a very difficult position to analyze, and this seems sensible. So here I would take the horse because I can. Now I can. Right? So, oh my goodness, there's a lot here. What have we here? If line takes 4J, 335, horse takes 5D promote. If you do this, it looks very strong, but it hangs mate, actually, because there's a very pretty looking mate line here. Uh, I'll make this a puzzle. What do you do? What's the checkmate? Can you see it? Okay, that's enough time. It's not very hard. You just play this. Then here, mate. Here, this one's a bit longer, but it is mate. And let me just delete this variation. It's a pretty clear mate. We did make sure it was checkmate, but lone lion, lion against lone king is almost always checkmate. And then if you what else is there to do actually? No, yeah, you have to take with the king or the queen, and both of those are checkmate. So you can't take this, and then this was a thing we looked at, the sixth L. Then line back, and there's line here. There are options. And you're threatening if you play this, you're threatening maiden one, so you have to defend again. And it's kind of the same position. I'm not going to allow a repetition. Well, actually, I am going to allow a repetition because if you repeat, you lose in this position because the queen is chasing the lion. It's a little bit sketchy here. I don't know how Lee Shogi would implement this because I am continuously threatening checkmate, but Sente started it by attacking the lion, so I'm going to assume that I would win if this was a repetition. There's a rook check, but it's fairly unimportant. What else is there? Is there anything actually interesting? It's the same checkmate line. We went through a lot of things here, so I'll have to just quickly check. Oh, okay. So that's a thing. Yeah, this is a thing. This is very interesting. Um, going through this line. Oh my goodness. Why, Lee Shogi? Why? Where is that? Aha, here. Um, if you promote in this position where you attack the lion, it runs. How did we get here? Sorry, I'm getting very, very confused. This position, yes. The blind tiger has moved. There, a rook check, blind tiger blocks. And then I'm still threatening checkmate, so you defend with the queen. And now, if the lion runs here, then um, well, yeah. If you take this, there's the same old checkmate. But if I promote, we just showed that if you promote the dragon instead, if you don't see the checkmate and you just promote the dragon, then there's queen takes, and well, I don't really wait. What? I'm so confused. What have I done? This is it. You don't take the horse. You run with the king. Right. I'm so confused. You run with the king. This was the kind of important. This is the actually important move because it slows the game down. There's no immediate checkmate threat because it's clear in the other lines that Gote is just faster. So if promotion, then actually Sente wins. This is a completely winning position. There's just nothing here. If the lion can't come in with check, it's over. This combo is more than enough to checkmate, and there's this bishop lurking here. So here, this is something we looked at, and then whatever you play, I take the side mover, so that I can bring my lion in like that, or like this, or whatever. This is a weak point. It's only defended by the horse. So this would be a bit slower, but I'm fairly convinced that with the easy dragon promotion, I would promote to the third rank to cut off the king. This minimal setup here is enough to defend against these two pieces, which are really the only threat. However, there is a thing where you if the dragon promotes, there's some tactics where you sacrifice the horse to promote one of these guys with check, and then come in with the other one, and then it's mate. I saw a few of those lines when I was looking at this earlier, but I think this can be played to a win, even if you don't promote the dragon to a soaring eagle. The king is still in bad shape, and the queen is really the only defender. Fully say that it's a win for one side, but given that all the other lines are basically a win for me, I don't know. I'm inclined to think that this is winning, but really, the queen's power in Endgame is greatly extended. So if it stayed, if I wasn't able to threaten check, if in this position I was not able to threaten checkmate and have a sort of forcing attack against Sente fast enough, then the queen's power in the end game would really start to be felt. And with so few pieces defending my king, I wouldn't give much for my chances. So unless I like play Ashiok from this position sometime, even then we wouldn't have certainty as to who is winning in this endgame, because it is a really cool endgame. So I messed up. I wish we had played through this because it's so fascinating. But that is today's game. A really, really intense one. Yeah. Thank you for watching.